Hey, what's up? I want to come on here really quickly and give my opinion on the Bob Marley One Love movie. Okay, this was definitely an anticipated movie. I didn't even know this movie was about to come out until a friend showed me the trailer. And I'm like, what? Bob Marley got a movie out? What? Yo, my family is Caribbean, and you don't have to be Caribbean to like Bob Marley's music. But my mom is from Aruba, and my dad is from Curacao, and they both adore Bob Marley's music. Like I grew up on jamming. We come on now, roots rock reggae. Like we grew up on all of that stuff. And my father's swear he Jamaican. Okay, he ain't Jamaican. But anyway, it's crazy. But I'm gonna give an unbiased, authentic review. So I will start off saying this: people didn't like the movie, and leave a comment. It is free to tell me how you feel in the comment section if you care to. But people didn't really like the movie because I went on YouTube and I typed in Bob Marley movie review, and judging by the thumbnail, they weren't really feeling it. They weren't really feeling it. They weren't really feeling it. It is what it is. I could just tell. Maybe it was clickbait. To drive in some curious minds. Okay. But I don't think they were feeling it. And I could say that too because on my mom's job, the clients on her job also said that they did not like the movie. So I was like, man, that's Bob Marley. You think that many people have liked it, but I'm sure there's a good amount of people who liked it because I'm one of the people who did enjoy the movie. I'm not sure if I would get it on DVD or anything like that, but I did like it. And I felt like I didn't waste my money, paying for the ticket. I felt like it was worth seeing in the theater. But I felt like the movie was a bit discombobulated. Like it just showed parts of him being an adult, and then it went into him being a child. Then it went into him being adult. Then it went into him being a teenager. So it was like a mixed match. And for me, I like a movie if it's going to be depicting someone's life to start from the very beginning. You know how they do that rewind? They do that little rewind. They should have started off where it should start off with Bob Marley performing his greatest hit at a concert, everybody cheering, Bob Marley, Bob Marley, everybody having a good time. And then it should have went into him as a baby and the father meeting the mom, the mother and the father relationship. The father left him when he was young, basically abandoned him, and the mother, in a way, kind of disowned him because back in those days, it still wasn't big for interracial dating. Interracial dating is big now. So I don't know if that was the reason why the white father left the mom, but it just started off with that. And I guess the disheartening, abandoning feeling that he felt from his father, and that may have led him into music because it didn't get that deep into what made him become this megastar, what pushed him to do music, what drew his soul to pour his heart out to the world and bring us Bob Marley, this mega star. So I felt like it should have went more deep into that. It should just stay consistent in order. So I don't feel like the movie was in order because I'm not used to seeing movies like that. When you watch movies, they go back from the beginning and then they give you a journey, a smooth journey, even though there may be some rough patches here and there, some bumps in the road, but you get to know inconsistency. It just lets you know from young to then what led them to be this mega star. And I don't think the movie did that properly. Even though Ziggy Marley stated at the beginning of the movie that he was there every step of the way and he was on set making sure that everything represented his father in the most authentic, most beautiful light. And people were like, Ziggy, you's holding out on us, Ziggy. You's holding out. I don't know, brother. Holding out now, And then later on, I seen in the movie how he had infidelities, and I believe Rita also had a boyfriend, so they both had that situation going on. And that's the thing when you are a superstar, when you are a celebrity or athlete or entertainer, you get so much attention, you get so many people throwing themselves at you, especially if you're a male in that entertaining music industry. And yes, it's going to be infidelity problems. I mean, it's very rare to come across people. I guess Denzel's the only one so far. I mean, you don't really hear too much about him or anything about him. I'm not too sure. You know something, keep it to yourself. But at the end of the day, I haven't heard anything about Denzel Washington. So that was unfortunate to hear because Damian Marley mother is a Caucasian woman, Canadian Jamaican, and she was Miss Jamaica and Miss World. Excuse the heck out of me. And Bob Marley had a relationship with her while he was still married to Rita. So it didn't go into the movie, but it mainly just showed Bob Marley playing soccer. It showed him performing, his greatest hits. It showed that one of his friends also went into, I guess, in a way, scamming him or just undercutting him with money and didn't let Bob Marley know he was getting money on the side. So at the beginning of the movie, Bob Marley's playing soccer with his friends. His sons was there, his children were there, and then some hood booger came out of nowhere and started shooting. So people ran, everybody was scared and shook, of course. And in the car, his son's asking, Daddy, why did this person shoot? What happened? What happened? And then he played over. He said, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. It's okay. Don't worry about that. And then little later in the movie, they were performing a song. They were practicing. And then some of his friends went home. Some people stayed. Rita left. And shooters came through. So there were some gunmen that came on the property, and two of them got into the apartment. I saw two guys go one way, and then one guy came to where the kitchen area was and looked at Bob Marley. And it was like a couple of seconds. Bob Marley stopped, froze, and was looking right at the man who was seeking to take his life. And the guy was a young dude too. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. Here we go. Oh boy. Woo! Bob Marley about to get shot. And the guy shot Bob Marley and shot the other guy that was sitting down, his friend, and the guy took 6 bullets. The guy survived though. Bob Marley, of course, he survived. And Rita Marley, in her car, she got shot in the head, but the doctor said that her dreadlocks is what saved her life and why the bullet didn't penetrate and kill her, because of her dreadlocks. And I would say that's the Most High, okay? So we got to give all glory and praise to the Most High, because when it's your time, it's your time. He's the giver of life and he's a taker of life. All death comes from him. Whether we want to admit it or not, it is what it is. We give the devil too much doggone credit, okay? The devil can't do nothing without the Most High's permission. So she was very fortunate it wasn't Rita's time. And yeah, so that was the breaking point for Bob Marley when he said, I got to get the heck out of Jamaica. I have not done anything to these people. These are my people, and they trying to seek and take my life. He was vexed. He was so upset. He was hurt by that. And they almost killed Rita. They tried to kill her. So they don't care. So that's what I'm saying. When people want to seek your life, they're not just seeking your life. If they can't take your life, they're taking those who's closest to you. That's how wicked and vicious and vile people are, so demonic. And so he left Jamaica and he went to Europe. And, he got arrested over there too. There's probably some racism over there too. Just because you light skin don't mean that you exempt, okay? And even if you biracial, you still not exempt. You don't know what it feels like to be black, all right? So he had his moments over there, but he made the best of it. And so he started making music and so on and so forth over there. And then he decided to switch up his style. He wanted something different because he wanted to do a beautiful comeback. And then he got together with the band. He brought Rita back because he said he needed her because he was so far away from her, because he told her to take the children and go to his mother's house so she could be safe. And then later on, they doing their performances, they doing their music and everything like that. And then later on, we find out that the friend was hustling on the side and didn't tell Bob Marley. He felt betrayed. So they got into a fight. Bob Marley kicked the man's behind. And then later on, it come to find out that there was some infidelity issues as well, unfortunately. And Bob Marley got hurt one time playing soccer. So then that led up to him finding out that he had skin cancer. But I don't think the injury prior to the finding out that he had cancer caused the cancer. It must be hereditary. I'm not too sure. He said his father was white, so he don't know if that came from his father's side. But he started to get an infection in his toe, and it was very bruised. It was horrible. And Bob Marley, I guess he just, I guess being a Rastafarian, he just wanted to just be natural and just, hey, what's going to happen is going to happen. If I gotta die, I gotta die. There's some people who think like that. They don't want to go to hospital, go through chemo, go through all of that stuff, because that's not our belief system. That's not my belief system. It is what it is. Your time is your time. If you could do things naturally, then fine. And people have healed naturally. No chemo, no medication, through, guess what, fruit fasting. There's one woman, she had bladder cancer, and she went on a red fruit fast. Guess what? That cured her cancer. It cured her cancer. The Most High told you what to eat. He gave us the blueprint. He gave us every yielding fruit with seed in it. Let that be your food. And every green herb, let that be for meat. So you don't smoke your herbs. You eat your herbs. You consume your herbs. All right. That's the proper way of doing it. But I know that's the Rastafarian way. They smoke, 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 smoke. But I'm just letting y'all know, so y'all don't have to go through chemo and go through all of that stuff. No, do it the Most High's way. Medicine comes from the earth. It gave us some small parts on how he came about with the band. And it didn't even go into a great story or in-depth story on the Wailers. They just showed up as the Wailers. And one guy said that they came up with the name Wailers because when you come out your mom's womb, you start crying. So I'm just like, that is the reason why. But I just thought it was really funny. But they got a deal later on. They didn't get the deal. They were going to get rejected because they didn't sound that good. But then they started really bringing it in. The guy that owned the record label at the time, he liked their style the second time when they performed because they really wanted that deal. But it really didn't go into much details as to why he loved music, why he wanted to get into music, why he picked reggae, why he picked the Wailers, how they got together. So because Rita says that she was on her own, so they had like a little intimate emotional connection because she was on her own and he was later on his own too as well, and had to kind of fend for himself. She had to fend for herself, so they had that connection, and I believe that's what bonded them. And also him growing up being teased because he's light skinned, and then also her being dark skinned, she got teased. So hey, light skinned people go through it too now. It ain't just dark skinned people. So I believe that also a way for them to connect and how and why they connected. But again, it still didn't go into much details. But I believe that people wanted more from the movie. Like they probably felt like because he was a Rastafarian and because he was in Jamaica, they probably thought it'd be more chaotic, more fighting, drugs, gangs. It was all these different types of things. People probably expected more from the movie, and I believe that's why people didn't like the movie. But like I said, I enjoyed it. Would I get it on DVD or anything like that? Probably no, probably not. I just have his songs on my phone, and I think that should suffice. But at the very end of the day, I enjoyed. And if you haven't seen it, well, if you watch it, if you watch this review, then I'm assuming you saw the movie. You should be watching this review if you haven't seen the movie. Spoiler alert. One part in the movie when he was jogging, there was two guys that came to him and they wanted him to come back to Jamaica to, perform his music and to bring forth peace. Because he said it's better now, but he didn't trust that it was better for him. He didn't feel safe. And can you imagine being in your own homeland and your own people trying to kill you? And it's like, it could have been jealousy, it could have been envy. Because it's like, what guy? I'm not saying that Bob Marley was this angel, this angelic, perfect man, innocent man. None of us are. This man sung about peace. to a point where at the very end of the day he brought two opposing political leaders together, and at the end of the movie you will see them come on stage and he's like this and hugging on them and just like, yeah, I did this, I brought peace, I brought two opposing parties together. And that's like the Crips and the Blood coming together, you know. So we need to see more of that, because it's just so much war, it's just so much division, so much opposition, and it confuses people, it divides people. Rita did get into a fight, like I said, when he confronted her about the guy in her face talking to her. Then she said, listen here, you know, you shouldn't be asking about nobody, because what about them girls that you were with? And then when he tried to stop her, she slapped the crap out of Bob Marley. I was like, whoa, that hit was so hard, it was crazy. But she loved Bob Marley, and I believe he loved her, and I believe she took care of the children even after he passed, or even the children that was not hers. She still made them feel like they were her own. And I think that's a huge thing. Because my grandfather, he took care of 8 children, brought 8 children to America, and they were not his. They were not, all of them were not his. So I commend a person who takes on children that are not theirs, especially if they're coming from an outside source, like from another person, if they come from an outside source and it was from infidelity. Yeah, it takes a certain type of person to do that. So Rita Marley definitely got her flowers, and she's definitely respected, and I believe she was part of his influence. Behind every king there's a queen. So yeah, you know, but again, I think people wanted more. I think people wanted more. People felt like a lot of stuff was held back. There was probably way more to Bob Marley's life than they shared, but that's still their right to as well. But people want transparency. If you're going to tell a person's story, listen, tell the whole story. You know, the good, the bad, the ugly. Tell the whole story. Don't hold nothing back. People want transparency. They want transparency. And I'm sure Bob Marley probably would have had mine. I mean, like, listen, it's my story. Tell them, you know? So I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, they probably could have been more to his life that they didn't reveal. But it is what it is. So we got what we got, and it is what it is. But yeah, it was, the performances was good. The way how the guy danced like Bob Marley, you know, he was dancing. He was like this, and like he was just dancing, the dreadlocks flowing, everything like that. And one part in the movie, after he got shot, he opened up his shirt and showed the moon from his gunshot. And I'm just like, I thought that he was going to give a massive speech, like a inspirational speech, like, you thought you can kill me? You thought you can shoot me? You shot at me and you still didn't kill me. You know, I thought he was gonna give like a speech and like stop the music. Everybody be quiet. I'ma talk right now. But he didn't do that. He just opened up his chest and pointed and did like this, and then they got him off the stage, and that was it. I thought that was gonna be his moment to tell the shooter off. But yeah, so it's all good. But yeah, I think people wanted more. It is what it is, you know. But he had some doubt in his music. He had doubt just growing up, and there was always someone there like Rita and his elders to motivate him and encourage him to keep going and stay strong, and how impactful he was, and how he can change the world, bringing forth peace, and which he did. He did bring forth peace. He didn't bring forth people all over the world. And a lot of people came out to go see his movie. I'm talking about from all walks of life, all colors, races came out to see this movie. I was there, I'm looking, I'm like, okay. Oh, you too. All right. Oh, you came to see. Okay. Like, I mean, it was like the support for the movie was definitely there. I'm trying to think of anything that I missed in the movie. If I did miss anything, feel free, okay, to put it in the comment section. But yeah, this was definitely an interesting movie. Definitely interesting movie. But I do believe in transparency, so don't hold nothing back. You know, we want it all. We want it all. Give it to us. Give it to us. Give it to us. Give us the juice, okay? Give it, and we gonna sip slow. All right. So, yes.